Hello. Sorry I haven't posted in a couple weeks. I low-key forgot that I could make videos, forgot that was an option. And also, I've been out of video ideas, so I had to dip into my emergency reserves. So, I've been meaning to make a video for quite a while on sort of my origin story as a furry. And, you know, might as well do it now, because I'm bored and I don't have anything to do. Do you like how the mic setup gets jankier every video? A lot of people told me that they thought I was either chewing on wires or drooling. In a sense, I kind of feel like I was born a furry. I didn't, you know, really join? I'm joining it. I didn't really join the fandom until, you know, I knew that the fandom existed, which was in early 2019, I want to say. By that I mean, I've always loved animals, cartoon animals. I grew up with Looney Tunes. You guys don't know Wile E. Coyote like I know Wile E. Coyote. And I've also always loved kind of dressing up as animals. As a kid, I was a big fan of Halloween. Not really because of the candy or, you know, the, ooh, spooky, scary, but because every year I would get one of those kigurumi sort of costumes and I would go as a different animal. Once Halloween night was over, I would keep wearing that kigurumi all year until Halloween rolled around again and I would just get a different animal. And, you know, growing up, my interests were very in line with a lot of, you know, older Gen Z furry experiences. Like, I read Warrior Cats, I played Animal Jam, I watched Horseland. Does that count as a furry thing? I feel like it did. Any other Horseland enjoyers? That show was so bad. I love it. And, you know, all those elementary school playground role plays where we would be super cool wolf packs and whatnot. Whenever we played house, I was always the pet cat. Shocker, I know. I think honestly one of the things that cemented my interests the most was getting into theater, because I've always said this. Furries and theater kids have a lot in common with like the sort of performance aspect, you know. Both are attention seekers. I say that affectionately. One of the first, you know, musicals I was ever in was a little summer camp production of The Lion King. I remember we all had to pretend to be hyenas and kind of pile on top of each other to like eat the piece of meat that Scar threw at us, and somebody elbowed me in the eye socket. Little fun fact for you. And even as a kid, I had a little bit of an appreciation for sports mascots. Our school mascot was a wolf. We had a wolf mascot costume, and I remember kind of thinking like, man, that would be so much fun to like, you know, just run around in. Like, a lot of my friends really like poked fun at the mascot and be like, oh, can you imagine doing that? Ew. And I was like, oh yeah, ew. Secretly, I wanted to be that. I wanted it so bad. So my whole life I'd basically been doing all of the things that furries do without even knowing that furries existed. So in February of 2019, when Anthony Padilla released his video, I Spent a Day with Furries, which was my first real exposure to the furry fandom. You'll never guess what happened next. It was like I never started being a furry. I always was. But gaining awareness of the furry fandom, I joined the fandom. I think I'm gonna make like my first fursonas and the evolution of my fursonas into its own video, because that's a whole can of worms. Fun fact, did you know that I had been Kiwi for longer than I had been a parakeet tiger? You'll just have to wait for that video. But anyway, I had officially joined the furry fandom. I'll be honest, you know, back then I was really embarrassed about it, but I also felt kind of cool because I'd never had a secret before, and I was like, oh. But I did have to kind of keep it a secret because, first of all, this was 7 years ago. Furries were not as widely accepted, and also, I was in middle school. God, if anyone found out, I would have been bullied so hard. So I kept it a secret, but it was also like, I was also really, really unsubtle about it. Like, during class, I would draw furries in my notebook, and then completely unprompted, like nobody was talking to me, I would just be like, oh man, I mean, these days you can't even draw animals without being called a furry. Am I right? I mean, nothing against furries. I think they're actually pretty cool, but I am not one. Like, come on. Who do you think you're fooling? I remember also being really scared to, like, you know, come out as a furry to my parents. I think I was more scared about coming out as a furry than I was, like, coming out as queer, because I didn't know what they knew. I remember, like, my dad was folding laundry, and I, like, subtly came up to him, and I was like, hey, Dad, do you know what a furry is? Like, I don't. Just like, but do you know what it is? And he was like, furry, this is, kind of owl robot toys from the 90s, right? Eventually I told them and they were super supportive about it. They actually still watch these videos. Hi Mom and Dad, I love you! But you know, back in the day I didn't have DeviantArt or Furfinity or anything like that. Instead I posted on a very small site, which was too embarrassing to mention because I got locked out of the account. I don't remember my password. I don't remember what email I used to set up, and I can't delete any of the really cringe old posts. Some other time. I don't think I've mentally prepared myself enough for that yet, though. But anyway, it was around this time when I realized that fursuits, wait a minute, they don't just spawn into existence. How do they even get here? And I did some research, and it turns out that people made them. What? Like how? How do you even do that? So I looked up how to make a fursuit, and Sky High Studios showed up, and I was like, whoa, what? This is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I gotta do that now. You know, I bought some foam and I bought some fur, and the rest is history. If you want to know how those exploits kind of came out, you can check my video where I go through all of the old fursuits that I still have. I eventually contacted that maker, Sky High Studios, and commissioned my very beautiful boy, Ari. I wanted to make an unboxing video so badly, so I took him to YouTube, and now I'm here with you. Life is beautiful. So, that's my story. I'm sorry if it was really boring. I just wanted to make something. I hope you enjoyed it enough. That's all. Bye-bye. DeviantArt or Furfinity. Hello? I don't know what that was. Hopefully nothing disconnected.